Hello Earthlings, it's Saturday now, and I'm headed to dinner, and then I'll be directly going to Studio E, where Matthew's gonna film his song Lead Balloon, so I guess that's what most of the following clips are gonna be.
Alright, it's a recording session, man. Probably, you're right.
There's Michael setting up his drums. There's Jason Schwartzman, the drummer we borrowed them from. He's not really Jason Schwartzman, but he's a drummer called Jason, so close enough. And there's Jordan. And there you see the whole breadboard of cables, if that's the right word. Those cables are wired to every drum in the world. Or at least in the studio, which is basically our world at this moment. There's the piano, which, if I were an asshole, I'd ask them if I could play, but I'm not. And since we're not completely set up, I figured I'd work on my JazzCom 3 midterm project. It's called Enigma because I wanted a really non-musical word, and I don't know if it's in G major, but it's in 1 sharp, so it looks like G major.
I like that.
No, I'm taking a video
Of Jordan.
We haven't even started recording and already Jordan's passed out. Apart from his hand, which is still alive.
Well, that's...
Michael's checking the kick.
Awesome.
It's super effective. Ooh, yeah. Work that filter.
This is the greatest thing in my life. I found out the greatest hack today ever, right? Mm-hmm. I was in Star Market. You know how they have the hot food bar? I
sure do. Anyway, you were in Star.
I was in Star Market, and I was like shopping around and had the hot food bar. So I just filled up one of those things from the hot food bar and just walked around Star Market eating the things from the hot food buffet.
Ah,
and
that's a very Israeli thing to do.
I just got, yeah.
You mean Azrieli?
What's up? I have to say that. I don't hate Jews. But it is. I remember going around with my uncle. We would just be in a grocery store. You know, he would just take shit out of the wrapper and then eat it. And then he would pay for it after. I guess what you're doing is technically stealing.
Oh,
You're just stealing. You're straight up just stealing.
From the hot bar.
That's just, I mean, that's fair. I guess that's not really a hack. That's kind of just theft. But it's kind of, it's a little bit, it's a gray area, right? That's what I think.
Can you record this in front of a live studio ostrich?
And then you just...
It's just an ostrich right here, just like watching for no reason.
I actually remember the biggest fail I ever saw in a spelling bee was a guy trying to spell ostrich.
Yeah.
How did he spell?
Well, he started with A and it went downhill from there. A-U-S-T-R-I-D-G-E. Ostrich. Go to sleep.
At this point,
And it gets a little harder.
That's the Holocaust.
And here we see the Muso creatures navigating the endless jungle of cables over to what we like to call a playback station. That's one of them there laughing.
You guys sound great. And I'm hitting on you.
Now you're just hitting on it.
I mean, it's hey, are those Bloodstones, by the way?
Yes?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I kind of like the sound of it.
So right now we don't have anything that's like panned wide.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only thing I have panned right now is the drums overhead.
Oh, really?
And guitar, leave it left that way, and the trumpet. I mean, if you want to be in here, there's nothing going to be in there.
Okay.
So I have to bring the trumpet in.
Whatever you guys want to do.
You want to go Beatles or, you know? and
Oh,
put the
Beatles.
drums like, oh, okay.
Yeah, Beatles.
No.
No, stereo.
I'll quit right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what we want is like a drum set that just switches from left to right. Just
Okay, I'll sign on to that.
You can do that.
yeah. Yeah.
But what were you saying? outside of that?
No, it's okay. I kind of like the acoustic guitar. I think if anything, I want to keep it where it is, or maybe even make it just a touch louder.
Okay.
I think we could pull the snare back a hair,
Okay.
Yeah.
and the toms, maybe bring them out a little. I don't know. Or maybe
They're
I should
good
hit 'em
shoes.
harder. I don't know, one or the other. What?
I bring the toms out more. They're good shoes.
Can I hear the third take? Is that I don't know, worth hearing?
The take before it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think there could be more toms.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Now the Musobeings revert back into the studio.
Yeah, I'll just...
I don't know what I called them in the last clip, but they're called Musobeings now. These are the cans. The award-winning film headphones, that's why they're called cans. Well, we just finished our last take, and now we're listening to the last two spliced together because they were the best.
Like I'm breathing all the time, and it gets a little harder when you're losing your mind.
Oh my god, it wasn't even real, man. That did not happen. That was a cartoon. Alright. So what's up? What are you doing?
Well, from all the quarters I've sold, we can get a 6-pack of beer.
Wait, how do you sell quarters?
Well, people need their quarters changed, alright? And then I just attach like a $1 service fee
Oh,
to changing their
oh,
quarters.
yeah, 4 for $1?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course, I'm so stupid I forgot how money worked for a second
No,
there.
no, it was like three. Basically, they gave me I give them $3 worth of quarters, and they give me $4.
Oh, okay.
I should do it per quarter, per set of quarters. I should. Yeah, that should make it another $30. Can you
For
imagine?
$1. Wow. Buy 2, get 1 free.
I assume that like people are like really would be willing to go across the street. But I think at the point where they're willing to do this, they probably would be willing to pay whatever for a quarter.
I'm not even willing to go to the laundromat beside 98, and that doesn't involve crossing a street.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So what's the plan, Stan?
What?
What's the plan, Stan?
It's Tuesday now. My Duke Ellington class yesterday was quite fun because Jeff Clausen actually brought his trumpet and all of his mutes, including, I believe, 2 cup mutes, one of which was adjustable so you don't break the cork, because a cup mute can sound really different depending on how far into the bell you put it in. And I never knew how different a Harmon mute sounded with its stem as opposed to without the stem. Basically, the Harmon mute was the one Miles Davis used the shit out of without the stem. It's Wednesday now. In prog analysis, we were looking at mixed meters and polymeters and just generally odd meters. We looked at one point in Rush's Tom Sawyer where the sheet music and what's actually being played differ in terms of the actual time signature. Like, there's one point before it goes back into the main 4/4 groove where it's a measure of 7/8 and then a measure of 4/4 and then it continues in 4/4. But the sheet music has it the other way around, where it's 4/4, then 7/8, then 4/4 for the rest of the piece. But it's easier to put the 7/8 first, because of where the accents land. And then we were also looking at an 11 against 12, or 11/8 against 6/4 polymeter in the theme from Burnt Weenie Sandwich, which is of course by the Mothers of Invention, if you couldn't tell from the title. Only Zappa could write a title like that. Only Frank Zappa, really. Not any of those other Zappas. I mean, they're weird, but they're not Frank weird, I guess. And then in Jazz Comp 3 this morning, we were looking at some of our midterm projects again. I'm writing mine for string quartet and tenor sax. There are a couple other guys that are writing for string quartet, so we're all going to use the same 4 players to record ours. And then I'll just bring my tenor. And Greg Hopkins showed us a suite he wrote for trumpet and piano trio, which is piano, violin, and cello. And it was a nice example of how to write for 4 players when only one of them feels comfortable soloing, you know, in a jazz way. I mean, they all improvised at some point or another, but the trumpet was the only one that was just handed chords. The other ones had some sort of constructed improv where they were given an idea, like, play this shape over and over again, or this rhythm. It's Thursday now. We just had a massive thunderstorm last night, but there's virtually no trace of it left. I'm on my way to Fusion Comp, and then tonight I'll be basically doing my entire project for Advanced Harmonic Concepts, which is basically to write a tune using some of the techniques we've used, like flirting with keys without actually establishing their tonics. We've been studying a bit of Benny Golson, a bit of Steve Swallow. I think I'll take quite a bit of inspiration from Swallow for my piece. Swallow does this great thing where you don't quite know where the form of his song ends or begins unless you've actually seen the chart. I mean, you can tell when a section... you can tell when a new section ends, but if they start in the middle, it's hard to tell. But I'm headed to Fusion Comp now with Mark Rossi, and he's great. He starts every class sort of warming up to teach by playing a montuno on the piano. That's your typical salsa piano line. It's Friday now. There's not really much more to say in this vlog. I've listened to the new Animal Collective album. It kind of went through me, so my review will probably be a short one, but I definitely want to listen to it again before I review it, if not while I review it. Go forth and be awesome.